Hello, Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com. You have tuned into the hurricane video discussion for Tuesday, June the 5th, 2012. Not very much to talk about at this time of the hurricane season. Very typical, which is good news. We do have this disturbance, though, in the Gulf of Mexico. It looks ominous enough, like, hey, maybe that could develop. But let me show you why it won't. This is the upper level winds, and actually several layers of winds. This chart coming from the University of Wisconsin, and you can see here's our disturbance here in the Gulf, and then these wind barbs going across like this from the west, they're all westerly. They are too strong and they're blowing across the top, and that's just like getting the top blown off of your chimney to your house, for example. If that happens and you were to try to still build a fire in the fireplace, you would have a lot of problems. Well, the same type of thing, for the most part, is the rule of thumb in nature here with tropical cyclones. The wind blowing across the top does not allow those thunderstorms to go up like you would need smoke to rise straight up and out of your chimney and then away from your house. If the chimney gets blown off, that's no good. And the same thing here in the tropics with the strong winds blowing across the top of this system from basically west-southwest to east-northeast. This has no chance of development, even though it is sitting over very warm Gulf of Mexico water. This mustard color, this goldish yellow color, mustard is a great description, I think, is water temperatures that are at least 28 degrees Celsius. These purples in here are 29 degrees Celsius. So we're getting on up there, 82, 83 degrees surface water. The real warm water, though, lies down in this area. We talked about that a few updates ago with tropical cyclone heat potential. But nonetheless, the Gulf is warm, but you don't just need warm water. You have to have a favorable upper-level environment, and that just isn't present at the time. A close-up shot, you can see the system. Yes, there is some convection or shower and thunderstorm activity, but it is sort of globular in nature. It's not connected and organized. And as I showed you, those upper level winds blowing across instead of out in a general direction like that, a clockwise direction where they're spreading out evenly. We need to see that when we're looking for tropical cyclone formation. We're also, if we're looking for tropical cyclones to form, you need cloud cover. And you can see there is a huge, is that even the right way to say it? A very distinct, there we go, lack of cloud cover in the eastern Pacific. This is really remarkable. A very, very barren landscape, if you will, for this time of the year. I guess it is typical for June. We've already had two out there, Aletta and Bud, but nothing here in the East Pacific at all. So nothing to worry about. Now this is right part and parcel, as they say, with what's going on with the MJO pulse. The green area is your upward motion in the atmosphere, or your favorable area, where the air is spreading out or divergent aloft, enhancing tropical convection. And that is where we have, in the West Pacific, our ex-typhoon that passing by Japan now as a tropical storm well to the southeast of the Japanese coast. Then on the other hand, here in the Western Hemisphere, all this brown is generally sinking motion or downward motion in the atmosphere, and that limits convection and cloud cover. That should hold true for the next several days. And finally relaxing a bit by day 10 and maybe by day 15 here. We'll have to start watching to see if the Atlantic Basin responds. A weaker signal than what you're seeing out here. We don't see these dark greens. In other words, if we had this dark green kind of migrate over into this area 2 weeks from now, I would be a little bit more concerned, because that is a very strong signal for enhanced tropical convection or upward motion. This a very weak signal for the most part, just very light green showing up, meaning that it's not a very strong upward motion pulse, but it might be enough, who knows, as we get to the next couple of weeks, to set something off. We'll see. That's what we do, is we keep track of that here on Hurricane and Hurricane HD, the wonderful iPhone app. So there you are, you're caught up for today again for Tuesday, June the 5th, 2012. I am Mark Sudduth. HurricaneTrack.com is my website, and I'll have another one of these for you on Hurricane and Hurricane HD tomorrow.